guys, it's Shelby. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, you guys, in today's video, I am super excited because we are going to be reviewing the Nikkie Tutorials X Beauty Bay palette. I just got in the mail yesterday night. This is obviously the palette that Nikkie Tutorials collaborated with Beauty Bay on, and I didn't think originally I was going to get this. You know, Beauty Bay is something that's based in the UK. I'm in America, and that's just, I mean, I've never ordered a single product from Beauty Bay in my life, and why pay international shipping when there's so many things here? But for Nikkie, I had to do it. So I don't even really know what Beauty Bay sells. I just know that they aren't in the US, so I've never bought anything from them. But when I heard that Nikkie had a palette with them, I of course wanted to support, so I picked it up. And you guys, if you haven't had your chance to get a hold of this palette yet, I believe she's working on something for like a second batch where you can buy it, but as of right now it is sold out. So but she is working on something to get a second batch out or something. I really don't know the tea on that, to be honest with you. Anyway, I thought we would do a look with this palette today and just kind of like give you my thoughts on the formulas and how the shadows perform, what I think about it overall, and all the tea with this. If you're interested in all of that drama, then make sure that you keep on watching. Okay, you guys, so this palette is, I think, very, very cool. She said it's supposed to represent like two different sides of her personality. So she has this bright side to her personality and then this more like dark side to her personality. And in her video where she demoed the palette for us, she kind of did a look on each eye, kind of representing both things. And I thought, I want to do the same thing because I have a light and bright and bubbly side to me that's like super fun. And then I have the side that's like troubled and fucked up and like a mess. I think that all of us have a little bit of both in our lives, so I thought we would have fun and just kind of do a look with that. Now, opening this palette up, it's really, really cool on the inside. There's mirrors on both. I just hit myself in the face. There's mirrors on both sides here, and one is actually a zoomed in mirror and one is a regular mirror, so that's really, really convenient as far as like intricate eyeshadow looks go, because I love a good zoomed in mirror. This is the palette in the color story. I'm kind of into it, guys. I think it gives us a lot to work with. These shimmers on camera, they're not giving me what they're giving me in real life. In person, these shimmers look absolutely stunning. Let's go ahead and insert some swatches of everything, and then we'll go ahead and get into the eyes. This is the first row right here. We have Redemption, Bend and Snap, Ivy, Slasher, and 5 a.m. How I'm doing it, I'm doing the same for every single shadow. I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and swatching. So that's how I'm doing every single shadow. A close-up look there. A couple of these matte shadows do look a little weird on the swatch. It's important to note that these are pressed pigments. This is a pressed pigment palette. It says it on there. So what I believe is that that means that all of the shades in here are pressed pigments and not eyeshadows. Those can be a little different on the swatch, and they can apply differently on the lid because they don't have the same things in them that eyeshadows do, but they will have a much better color payoff. So it's a little bit different as far as a swatch and just in general how those go. But this is the first row. Second row, from bottom to top, we're gonna have Roxy Catan, Blah, Mikai, Mila, and Underground. Third row, we have Plot Twist, Aura, Basic Trut, All In, and You. And the last and final row, we have the shade Pride, Zomer, Mama Tutorials, Amsterdam, and Mr. Tutorials. Oh my god, this shade right here. Ah! Now that I have swatch hands and this hand is all shimmery and glittery, let's go ahead and get on into the eye look, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you in a little bit and let's get started. So with my two sides of my personality look that I want to do with this palette, I want to do one eye really fun and colorful and one eye a little bit more dramatic and dark. This palette doesn't have a lot to create a super dark dramatic look, but I think we can deepen up some of these shades enough to kind of get what I'm going for. So let's start with the fun eye and then we'll move into the more dramatic, intense one. I want to start off with the shade Bend and Snap, and I'm just going to kind of put that in my crease and create the shape that I want for this look. So my first impression is that's super pigmented. It went on really, really easily, and it's working really, I mean, this is very easy to work with. It's blending out easily. It's not giving me a hard time when I'm applying it, moving my brush back and forth. So that shows me a sign this is going to be a pretty cool palette to work with. I'm just going to take that and work it down into my crease like this. But I'm really getting the shape that I want, which I really want this like point here for this look. I think that'd be really nice. I am going light with the brush. I'm using a Morphe M506 to do this, and I'm going really, really light with my brush because with pressed pigments, they are pigments, so they're going to be pigmented, and I want to make sure that I don't do anything too intense that's going to be too hard to blend out or too hard to work with. But honestly, you guys, this is working really, really nicely so far. Okay, and then I'm going to take a little bit of the shade Redemption, which is the orange shade, and I'm just going to really, really lightly go on the outer part of that pink, just to kind of like give it a little something on the edge there. I'm just going to take that and blend it out above the pink. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and get into the shimmer shades. I don't believe in cutting the crease. Not for my eye shape. I mean, I do cut the crease, but cutting the crease is a lot, and I feel like I just don't want to. So I'm going to take my finger and dip into the shade Roxy Catan. I'm just going to press that over the bulk of the lid, more towards the outer part. Oh my god, you guys, that's so pretty. That's really, really pretty. By the way, you guys, she did give us a little, it's not with me right now, it's like in my bathroom, that's where I was like looking at this palette, but she did give us like a little card for people that might be like newer with makeup, and she tells us like what shades are best applied with a brush, which shades are best applied with like your fingertip or like a wet brush or whatever. So if you ever have questions as to like how to apply a shimmer shade, or like if you're using this palette and you don't know like what to do to apply, like what to use to apply it, then she does have that for you. One thing to note about a lot of these shimmer shadows that she has in here, I would never use a brush to apply these personally, at least not initially. Maybe one to blend it out after I already put it on the lid. But going into some of these glittery shimmer shades with a brush, it's just the formulas just don't really work with brushes very well unless they're wet, and even then, just like the way that it'll apply on your eye with your finger instead is like so much better, and you'll get much better color payoff. I'm gonna take a little bit of the shade Pride, and I'm gonna go into the inner corner with that. Oh my god, that is stunning. Oh, do you guys see that? This is the prettiest shimmer I think that I own. That is so, so pretty. It's like, there is a little bit of fallout, even though I use my finger, which is a little, I mean, that's a lot, but no big deal, you know, I'll just brush it off. But that is the prettiest pink, blue, silver shimmer I have seen in a really long time. I'm really, really into that. And I actually, oh god, I mean, Roxy Catan is so pretty too. It has like a goldy kind of feel to it, like a pinky gold, and this one has a pinky silver kind of a feel. It makes for an interesting look. What do you guys think? I kind of really want to put that Pride all over the entire lid. Like I wasn't thinking I was gonna do that when I went into doing this look, but now that we're here, I'm just like, I'm doing it. I mean, we're doing it. That is so stunning. And then I'm just gonna take a little like synthetic brush, and I'm just gonna like, with no extra product, just like make sure that I made it all the way into my inner corner with that. And that's all I'll use a brush for when I use these like shimmer shades or like glittery moments or whatever. I'll just use a brush to make sure that I'm getting it everywhere I need to because I have my claws, so it makes it a little bit easier. Under the eye, I think we're gonna keep it fairly simple and just kind of like repeat the pink and the orange, but then I want to use the shade Amsterdam, and I was wanting to do like a liner moment with the Amsterdam shade. So let's go ahead and knock out an under eye real quick. I'm gonna do that off camera since it's not super exciting, and then I'll be right back to do the liner. Okay guys, so I went ahead and did the under eye and popped a little bit of the shade, the yellow shade Vla, in the inner corner, as well as that shade Ivy on top of that, and a little bit of Ivy on the brow bone as well. It is worth noting that I did have to do quite a few layers to get Vla to really pop on the inner corner, and then with Ivy it didn't blend super easily. That's because I was using a brush for that, and that is a glittery, kind of like that glittery silver shade, so it would apply better with your fingers, but I have my claws, so it's very hard for me to get in the actual inner corner of my eye with a shimmer shade like that. So that's not something that I'm foreign to. That does happen sometimes when I do my makeup, but it is worth noting. Now I'm going to take the dark blue Amsterdam shade, this one right here, and I'm going to go ahead and do a wing with it. I just remembered I wanted to use Mama Tutorials too on this look, and I didn't. We're going to do a wing with Mama Tutorials and Amsterdam on the outer corner. I'm just going to take a flat brush. This is like a Morphe M165 brush, and I'm going to just take Mama Tutorials, and I'm going to wet this because I just have a feeling that it's going to work a lot better if I do, and I'm just going to start creating a little wing on the inner corner. This is also one of those shades, guys, that works better with your finger, but I am using a wet brush, so it's working okay. There is a little fallout action, but no big deal. I do have quite a bit of powder on, so it should wipe away really easily. But I love the way that looks. That's so pretty, and it's holding its ground over top these other shimmer shades really nicely. And then now that I've gotten to this outer portion, I'm going to actually dip into the shade Amsterdam, and that actually swatched more purple than blue. I thought it was going to be like a royal blue, and even now that I'm using like this wet brush to apply it, it looks more of a royal blue. But when I swatched it, if you guys remember, it looked very, very much like a light purple, like almost like a violet. It was weird. Shut up, I don't want to hear it. I know I'm bad at wings. I know I've already messed up, but we're gonna fix that. It's gonna be okay. Okay, and after a disaster and a half trying to do a wing, not because of the palette's fault, because of the applier's fault, which would be me, I am back with this okay little wing moment and repair done on the side of my face. This is the fun look done and complete. Let's go ahead and move on over to the more dramatic side, and let's see what we can come up with. I actually am really impressed with how the shadows are performing so far, and honestly this seems like a palette that I'm gonna keep picking up. Let's go ahead and get into the dramatic eye look, or the darker side of our personality. So to start off, I just want to go inside the crease. I'm gonna go in with the shade Mila. That's like a brown, like the brown camel matte shade, and I'm just gonna kind of take that all in the crease. It's blending out really well, and this shade's actually a really nice crease shade for me, and it would be something that I could use for an everyday look. So that's always nice to note. I'm always looking for palettes. I don't care how boring it sounds. I'm always looking for palettes that I can grab and just throw on real quick for like work or going to the store or whatever. So I'm loving that. And just building that up in the crease and lightly on the outer corner. And then next, I'm gonna go in with the shade 5 AM, which is the darker brown shade in the palette. And I'm just gonna start building up the outer corner. So we're just gonna stamp that onto the bottom part of our lid, just right here. And just really stamp that in and deepen it up. And then we're gonna work on blending it out. That's pretty. And that is stamping on so pretty. And then now I'm just gonna slightly move my brush and start to blend it. Oh my God, I'm really into that. Okay, and then we're gonna be using, I believe I wanna go in with the shade Mr. Tutorials for all over the lid with this one. So I'm just gonna use my finger. I'm gonna press that onto the lid. Ooh, and that's like a, oh my God, I have like a green shade. It's like a hazel kind of a thing. She said she made this shade to look like her fiance's eye color, and it is stunning. It's a little bit different than I thought it was going to be on the lid, because I was going for something a little bit more dramatic and dark, but I'm with it. And then on the inner corner of this dark eye, we're going to be using the shade All In, which is that really gold shimmery shade. And oh my God, we're just going to press that into there. Oh my God. These shimmer shades are literally my new favorites. Like, hands down my new favorites. Unless I want to go for the pressed glitter, then I still love the Tati Beauty textured neutrals. But this is going to be my go-to palette for like pressed shimmer shades right now. Like, this is so stunning. I'm literally shook. I am blown away with how these shimmer shades are performing. Absolutely blown away. I just realized right now that my mic's not plugged in, and we're literally so far into the video, and I literally hate myself for this shit. What the fuck? The worst. I really honestly am so sorry about that, you guys. It probably was like so loud and annoying with the AC in the background and stuff. You probably can still hear the AC, but it's not as bad. I'm trying this whole YouTube thing. I don't know how we're doing. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and take the other shimmer shade, the last one we have not used in the palette yet. We're going to take, it's called Underground, and we're going to see how that works for an inner corner moment and a brow highlight. So I'm going to go ahead and say, like, these shimmer shades, you need to use your finger. She's saying you can use a wet brush, but I'm not getting much of anything using a brush for the shade Underground. And I'm like going in there, but she's not really picking up. Okay, there we go. I have to really, really go in on the pan to get payoff with a wet brush with these shimmer shades. But if I use my finger, I mean, it's really fairly easy to get what I'm looking for. And it's absolutely stunning, as you guys have seen. I feel like we need a wing on this side to even everything out, but that's just not really my dark person. The dark side of my personality doesn't really wear a wing. She's too depressed to worry about a wing. I'm being completely honest. My dark side can't be bothered with anything besides laying on her couch and eating fucking Doritos. So I went ahead and decided to do a wing on this other eye, and interestingly enough, my eyeliner actually wasn't holding up underneath the pigment and the sparkles of this Mr. Tutorials shade. So very, very interesting tea with that. You guys, I'm so obsessed with this palette. I'm going to go ahead and pop on lashes, mascara, and maybe change my lip a little bit, and I'll be back to give you my final thoughts on everything. Hey, you guys, and this is the finished look. So I am super impressed with how everything turned out. I went ahead and popped on just an Ardell double wispy lash real quick, and then I changed up the lip color a little bit as well. But yeah, I'm super impressed with this palette, you guys. All the shadows that I used in here performed really, really well. A note on these shimmers, you want to use your finger for them. You want to, I mean, they'll work with a wet brush if you really dig in there, but if you just use your finger, all you have to do is like give it a little swirl and you'll get amazing color payoff with that. So that's my feedback on the shimmers. The mattes performed really, really nicely. This is a pressed pigment palette, so keep that in mind when you're using these. This is my interpretation of my light and fun side and my dark side. Okay, so let me know what you think about this look, this palette, and all of that drama down in the comments below. Did you have a chance to pick this up? If you did, have you received it yet? Are you in the UK? Are you in the States? I was really, really happy with how soon I got this palette, considering it was international shipping, and it was only $6.50 to internationally ship this to the US. So I thought that was very, very cool. I'm loving this palette. I really, really enjoy it. If you want to use this palette, make sure that you use the shimmers with your finger think that's going to give you the best color payoff. And otherwise, besides that, you guys, I think that you'll really enjoy it too. I definitely give this one my little stamp of approval, whatever that's worth. So thank you so much for watching today's video, guys. If you want to follow me on all my socials, you can definitely do that at Beauty by Shelby. That's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Beauty by Shelby. I'll put that right there for you so you can see it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below and ring the bell so you're notified of all of my future videos when they do post. You guys, we are almost there. We are literally like less than 75 subscribers away from my 1,000 subscriber goal for the end of December, and it is only September, and I'm literally freaking shook by that. I cannot tell you how much I am so appreciating all of your love and support. If you're enjoying this video, if you're liking me and all of the Beauty by Shelby stuff, and you want to join the family, then make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you can see all of the madness that we do here and learn all about the new products that are coming out and the makeup that I want to share with you. If you had a good time and aren't ready to leave yet, then YouTube should be suggesting a couple videos for you to watch down there, and I would love it if you stuck around. If you can't, then I thank you for this view anyway. And yeah, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in for today's video. Next week, who even knows what we have in store? I think it's going to be BoxyCharm if it comes in, but who really knows? Either way, I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye, guys.